Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, my name is Ryan, aka Ryman, but if you feel like it, it's Ryman, aka Ryan. Today, on Valentine's Day of all days, I begin my brand new adventure in gaming. Something that I promised you almost a month ago now. Finally making do on it. Something a lot of you guys have been waiting for. I present to you Katawa Shoujo. A little backstory. Years ago, many years ago, I have a friend. His name is Chris. And Chris, you're probably watching this right now. You most likely remember. You showed this game to me. You gave me a little backstory on some of these characters, mostly on who they were and what their shtick was. You tried showing me a little bit of the gameplay, and you really also felt the need to wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning to tell me that someone was doing it in the bathtub. But this was something I did not see all the way through for myself. But now, here we are. There's nothing else to really go over, folks. Let's just hit that start button and begin our magical journey through anime to discover whether or not if I have a soul or if I'm condemned to the darkest pits of hell. Let's roll. Ooh, pretty. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. Oh, this is nice music. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Oh, Hisao, that's who I am. Excuse me. How long have I... Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 o'clock p.m. Ah, yes, the note. Slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white-painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. What was that? The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching from behind. Is that you, Slender Man? Have I been sucking into a Slender Man dating game? I mean, I'm not against this, but... Oh. Mystery person. Hi. Hisao? You came? A hesitating, barely audible question. Well, not the way I put it. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Nice artwork. I like the style. Oh god, I'm going to be butchering names left and right. Bear with me, folks. You're in for a long one. Iwanako? I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it. I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line that was and that was the result? Pathetic. Iwanako. That's me trying to prepare for a woman's voice. Again, bear with me. Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense, and I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. Oh, my heart. Is this what they call love? My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. Elena's so sappy. I'm gonna have to steal that in the future. So, here we are, out in the cold. I mean, we couldn't meet somewhere warmer, like a furnace, anything. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The oh my god. The cacophonous noise, bear with me, I can't English, shut up, is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her hair, dark hair, along... Oh my god. I have failed English, folks, I'm so sorry. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I can even force a word out if I tried. Iwanako. You see, I wanted to know if you go out with me. Aww, happy ending. I guess it's the end of the game, folks. I stand there, motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Isao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Nice piano. Isao? My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. I think I'm having a heart attack. Oh god, I think I'm having a heart attack. Isao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me. All these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Now death. That was beautiful. I loved the music. I loved that art style. I wanted to stay silent through that just to take it all in. Before I continue on, another disclaimer. Not only will I be butchering names, I will, as you have already heard, be butchering words. I swear to you guys, English is my first language. I just happen to be the dumb. Alright. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Oh, we're gonna roll with it. A strange word. A foreign, alien one. You're telling me. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Then love happened. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had turned into a class project. Maybe some people were generally concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. That bitch! This bitch literally is the one who gives you a heart attack, and she can't be bothered to come visit. Some people. Anyway, we never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So, I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around on the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit of an egghead. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to digest from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing. Oh god, that hits close to home, man. Not being stuck in a hospital, just being stuck in a rut of life. I'm sure a lot of other people can relate to something like that without being in that specific situation. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surround me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I would put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. The doctor comes in. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There's this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time, sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. "Hello, Hisao. How are you today?" I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. "I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription." The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden, and as he reads it quickly. "So many." That's the dad voice. Shut up. I take it from his hand and take a look at it for myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Heart failure, warfare, and clinical depression, and fatigue. Oh, geez, this is building up. The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions and dosage are listed in line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile, kind of like me trying to read this story. Boy, I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life? Every day? I'm afraid that this is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it'd be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Oh, no, wait. Nani? Please calm down. Please calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going back to be homeschooled? Am I going to be homeschooled? I can't read! Whatever my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be going without supervision. At least, not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? Nani? Am I? Bakana. I'm sorry. It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really like that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff. and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Oh, it's the dad. Of course, that's only if you want to go. But your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity! Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, a special school, that's an insult. That's what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just needs a little help in one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. Bleh. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disabilities. You're not handicapped, you're handy-capable. What? One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disabilities. That's what a disability is. You see, you're looking at it the wrong way. Look at it the way that I did, in a kind of rude, non-sensitive way. I'm gonna stop talking. I really hate that something so important was decided for me, but what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I'd always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction and on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I can go back to school anyway, but no. I don't say anything. The fact is, I know now it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. But the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it is a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start. And my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life would look like. Act 1. Life expectancy. 3 months. That's a big, strong, sturdy-looking gate. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster, assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wonder if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably nah. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace and felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. That's a good way of thinking of it. That's a big building. Wow. That's like a college campus. Holy crap. So I walk towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone, as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. Doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh-cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm enjoying some of the vibes from this game. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies. Too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told that this is my new school, in the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if this feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of stares. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kinda eerie. It's kinda how a lot of zombie things start. Makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about the hospitals again. How they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the hoity main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous, and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. The tall man. You must be Nikki? Nikai, I don't know, I can't pronounce your name either, Hisao. So you are. Excellent, I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Or at least that's what I'm going to be calling you, with my pronunciation. Welcome! We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, as he looks at his watch. The head nurse asks for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh? Should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get it going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. So, do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Sure, why not, I guess. Yeah, sure. I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everyone likes to be the center of attention. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then! My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third... I actually almost started doing this guy's voice that I set out for him. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for the class 3-3. Muto opens the door and enters. Whoa! What is that face? Why is it staring down the hallway ominously? No. Good morning, everyone! Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second and at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step. I know that. But there isn't any point to worrying so much about it, at least not this soon. Oh, hello, everybody. girl with bandage around her hand, girl who I don't know what's wrong with, don't know what's wrong with, don't know what's wrong with. This guy, I think, is missing an ear. This guy looks like his disability is being a schmuck. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high, and there's lots of space left over around in between the desks. The entire wall is taken up by blackboards, and the high, old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school. But then, why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them, only it's just not immediately obvious. Then, I notice one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb on her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. Is that Peter Griffin? This guy back here. That's Peter Griffin. I'm not letting this go. That's fucking Peter Griffin. Sorry. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long, straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she's looking back at as she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it would make her invisible. I don't know if that's just silly or adorable. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kinda cute. So is the cheery-looking girl with the pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. That one. Oh, no, that one. Oh, no, that one. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, this one was a special note that Chris brought up. The girl with the drills that could pierce the heavens. I'm told she's fun. I think that was a word. Back to Muto. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands, and so does everyone else, except one girl in front row who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for the applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Naki, played by Ryan, aka Ryman. I'm from the internet. How are you guys? And after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone, even though I'm a new student. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever from every anime ever. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing. And the teacher picks it up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied, even with what little I said. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. I listen to the teacher as he drones on about getting along, while letting my gaze sweep across the room. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again. This feels like a weird thing to do. I'm not reading that way because I can't read. I'm reading that way because that's legitimately weird. Why would you just clap when the teacher's done talking about some random bullshit? When someone poke Peter back there, I actually think that man's dead. The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against her other wrist that ends in a bandaged stump. So I guess we finally figured out the lifelong question of the sound of one hand clapping. Okay. It makes me feel a little bad. Yeah, I'll go with that word. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? What kind of voice am I going with this guy? Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. Can you work with Hakamichi? She is the class representative. She can explain everything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignment and announces that we'll be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who this bitch is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression, which is probably a look of horror. All right, Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi. Wait, no, I thought you were Misha. Aren't you Misha? I thought you were Misha. I thought you were the As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with the bright pink hair and gold eyes. Isn't that jaundice disease? I'm getting sidetracked. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Okay, real talk. From personal experience, when you meet someone and the very, 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 very first thing out of their mouth is a that's usually your sign to find the nearest exit and run. Nani? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. Shizune, it's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi, I'm Misha. You are Misha. You're forgiven, Chris. This is Hakamichi Sheik-chan. What the frick is a Sheik-chan? Well, I do like the little detail where apparently it was first Shizune, but they crossed it out and put Misha. Bravo, developers. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she's been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short, yet carefully kneaded brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses, balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. Analytical and slightly bored. I mumbled that, I'm sorry. It's nice to meet you. Ellipses. Don't be rude. Oh. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, you'll be able to talk to people, and who better to explain things to you. I can see you're a little confused, right? Right? But I understand why you would think I was Shi-chan. What? Shi-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. Ellipses. Alicia Zune is going to be very easy for me to read. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shi-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have been standing up there for no reason, right? Right! Maybe I should stop that voice. I'm going to kill myself if I have to do that anymore. He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you'd be here today. So soon. He-chan, right? He-chan? He-chan. There's Shi-chan and He-chan. What is a He-chan? Someone who knows Japanese stuff, please inform me. Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? Did this game hear me? Is this game sentient? It's just a surprise. I've never liked that nickname. I don't really see how. It fits! You look just like I imagined! What? Ellipses. Yeah, you look just like each. I don't know what that means. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Ellipses. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shishan wants you to know that she's a class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Ellipses. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit. I can really relate to that, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. Ellipses. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school either. I need to stop that voice. Because there are going to be a lot of chicks, and I don't know if I can do a voice for all of them. Always, even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shishan? Learn... I almost continued it. I'm sorry. Learn about where you're going? I guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with half-assedly, but anyway. I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me. I feel like something over my seat. Both of them were smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. You look down. Are you okay? Ellipses. Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for... This frickin' bitch. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Wah! Alright. Ellipses. Ah, and another thing. You don't have to call Shishan something so formal like Hamachi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shishan. Ellipses? Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. Ellipses. Yep, Shizune is fine. Heh. Okay, that'll be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier, especially about Shizune, who I assume would be all business. Well, she so seems like that, just less so, I guess. Ellipses? Huh? Alright, we haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now, or Shishan will get mad. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. Wahahaha! That too! Ellipses. Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. Stop staring into my soul. Ellipses.
After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay?
The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Still, we finish it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. I think Shizune is really capable. I think Misha was probably too busy chewing on the wrong end of the pencil. They're quite different, though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about it. The clock tower bell rings, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch! Back at that face again. Without knowing what else to do, I followed Misha, who was beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Muto, and down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in the school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big window was open to the courtyard, towards the main gate. Gee, frickin' Misha.
It's the cafeteria!
Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students with special diets. How nice. It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I'm gonna have to lay this down right now, Misha. Don't poke. I need at least 3 weeks warning before someone wants to unexpectedly try to touch me. Did not end well for the last person. Ellipses. I don't understand sign, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at a person who talks to you is proper and polite?
Do you want to know something?
No. What?
About anything. We're your guides, so you should ask us if there is something.
I wonder. Ask about the library? I think I got everything I need to know. Or ask about Shizune's deafness. I don't know. Shizune's deafness seems pretty straightforward to me. There's a library? I'll go to the library? Oh yeah. Is there a library in the school? Lately I've gotten into reading a lot, so I'd like to check it out. Misha gives the kind of frown that makes it clear she doesn't consider reading a healthy hobby, but then picks up her smile again.
There is! It's in the second floor. We can show it to you sometime.
Thanks. I return to my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, but the budget couldn't handle that, so we're looking at this instead. Throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. These bitches are actually talking behind my back in front of me. That is talent. Maybe they're talking about secret girl stuff or something. Probably plotting to take over the world, I don't know. Is that what girls do? When girls talk, when girls gossip, do they just discuss each other's world domination plans? I don't know. I quickly notice the conversation in sign is not enough to fill a silence. Tick, 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 tick. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. Oh, hello. The dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over her desk at the last row. What? She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Suzune either don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. Okay, goodbye! Alright. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with the other students and finally the teacher. Getting in the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of the class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Dude, every year on the first day of class returning from some vacation, I am tired within the first minute. You get to the end of the day, that you get my applause. Or at least yet the applause of the girl in the front of the class. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me feel like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Besides me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Ellipses.
Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Yishan. We've got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do.
Ellipses.
You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it.
Wait, the teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? I'm gonna assume the nurse's office, but that's just me.
Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on! The nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside.
Outside? You keep the nurses station outside? That seems a little inconvenient in case there's an emergency, right? We join the flow of students making their way downtown, walking fast, faces past and Sidetrack. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out all the other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way to a small building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks exactly like part of the main building.
Ellipses. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' office. They even have a swimming pool.
How is that official? Ellipses.
Don't be silly, Ishan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education? I guess it's necessary for a place like this. Oh, this doesn't seem dark and grim. I walk in, hoping that this will only be a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white door, on the left is a green cross with the text, Head Nurse, and a nameplate. A voice from inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded like a bit of an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large and smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing and used with medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Smiling man, hello there! What can I do for you today? Yes, that's what I'm going with for the doctor. I have reasons. Shut up. He is young-looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. Why, yes I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name or just the nurse like everyone else. Of course. I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right, I'm a new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Hisao Naki, or Ryan aka Ryman, depending on what your mood is. His eyes lighten up with revelation and snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Naki! I was just reading your file in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia related to congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yes. Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical and therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly, brother. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. Ha 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 ha. His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. Yeah, just that it's really hard to have so many medical people at a school. You'll get used to it. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now, let me just find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of papers around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark gray laminated flooring, and all the equipment you expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day from all the food groups. Hey, if this office doesn't have the cat hanging for his life from the branch, reminding us to hang in there, I'm not buying it that this guy's a real school nurse. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So, you've already had medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, or it won't do you much help. Apart from that, this man's winking at me. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? He grins to his own joke, but I don't. I feel like I was slowly going Scottish with that accent. I don't know. Well, I played... Oh, God, on me sound now. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you from refraining to doing that. At least for the time being. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really, I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, little brother, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There's no mention of the cause in your papers. It was over a check, okay? Not exactly. I sidestep the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise will do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercises regularly. Brisk walks or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming, maybe. There's a pool here. I don't know, I put so much joy in that last part. So I was told. You were very good, ha ha ha. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before. You just need to take care and not to overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good. That's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. I'm ushered out before I even realize it. Quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes, they still look one and the same. I bet that was just to save some money on the artwork. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going, and I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? Gooble gobble, we will make you one of us? None of you younger people are gonna get that reference. One of us? Don't start repeating me, dude. That was creepy. Moving on. I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorm, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh-cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside for so long. That's some interesting graffiti. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the ends of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives me a quick, "Hello," before turning back to the TV. Seems only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. Woo-hoo-hoo. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seems to have a toilet and a shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplates on the rooms adjacent to mine are blank. Adjacent! Oh my god, what have I done? The nameplates on the rooms adjacent to mine are blank. I have failed you. I have failed all of you. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below to the room of 117, so I knock lightly. Hello? Is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements, then the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. Oh. I'm told that this is another fun character to keep an eye on. Are you Kenji? I think that's Kenji. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He's looking at me very intently through his extremely thick glasses. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? Whoa. Personal bubble, friend. He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hisao Naki, or Ryan, depending on your mood. I'm moving into the next room, which is adjacent to the one here. I am so sorry. I thought I should introduce myself. His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh, I can get diaphragm, but I can't get adjacent. Oh, sup, dude? The name's Kenji. It is Kenji! Hell yeah! Hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by a sudden change of attitude, and vehement welcome. There are some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Because they could have been some other people, too. You can't judge a book by its cover. That's a good lesson. I kind of wish it wasn't coming from a madman, but... His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, Hisao. Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you are smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. What do I... I think he's partially blind. That's right, I'm sorry. Ah! He squints his eyes and leans closer, but I lean backwards to dodge it. I was actually copying that movement before you mentioned that, friend. Never mind, it doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. That's the end of that adventure. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of wood, probably mahogany. Ugly curtains. I was so caught up in looking at the blank walls that I stopped reading. It's no one's room. Impersonal. Like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there is a number of school uniforms hanging in there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts.
Hi, Hee-chan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad.
Aww. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hoped I would have. Then there would have been something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming in, and for the entire day too. I still am, I think. Damn, I have to distract myself somehow, so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow, I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, happy pills time. The bottles of medications neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. I picked one up and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, and then read the glued-on pharmacy label. Hisao Naki. 2 tablets daily to stay alive. It doesn't really say that, but it could have just as well. It's kind of twisted, having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little bit, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain. And after that, I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. And it's getting dark. Ooh. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my rooms like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon, the lighter shade of darkness is what the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. Oh, I guess that's a little intermission. Okay. Is there a way to save this, I hope? I wake up in a strange room. It's not a strange room, it's your fucking bedroom. Yes, there's save. Oh, I can save. Ooh, create new save? Progress successfully saved. And there's something there. Folks, I don't know how long this was. Playtime apparently has been for over an hour. Holy crap. This is a nice introduction. I can't wait to go on and finish this. I'm going to try to cut these down a little bit so it's a little bit more convenient for you guys to watch. But if you don't mind these long sessions, let me know. And I'll see you guys next time in Ryman's Bizarre Adventures in Katawa Shoujo.